Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. This is day 306 of posting a chess puzzle every day for a year. This one's going to be black to move. White just played rook takes f4, capturing a bishop on f4. Please pause the video now. Black to move and win. So the first move is going to be bishop c8 check. Why, you might ask? The bishop on b7 isn't really doing anything. It's basically stuck here. And queen c8 check is another option, but our queen's already in a pretty good square. So we want to move the bishop to c8. So now white has a few options. King g3, king f3, king h4, king g5, king h5, and bishop f5 blocking the check. If king f3, this should be pretty simple. We're going to play queen e3 check here. The idea is that if they're king g2, we're going to play rook takes f4. We're threatening mate in 2 with rook g4, check, king h1, and queen f3 checkmate. For example, if white doesn't do anything, bishop d3 for example, rook g4 check, king h1, queen f3 checkmate. So that's why king f3 doesn't work. King h4 is pretty simple. We're going to take on f4 with check, king g3, queen f2 checkmate. King g5, rook g4 check, king h5, d4 discovered check is one way of doing it. Bishop f5 is probably what white is going to play. We're going to play bishop takes f5, queen b8 check, bishop c8 pairing the check with a check, king h6, and queen g5 checkmate. So pretty cool. And all of the other options also end up like this. King g5 and king h5, they're basically the same. We're just going to deliver discovery check with d4 check, checking the king. If the bishop blocks, we're just going to play, we can play queen e7 check, and this should be easily won. For example, if king g4, bishop takes f5 check, exploiting the pin on the rook on f4. King takes f5, queen e5 check, king g6. We can play rook takes f4, and then we are threatening mate in 1, basically unstoppable. So now to the main point. Bishop f5 is what white is going to play. We're going to capture on f5. The king has to move to h5, because if the king captures, we're going to play queen f8 check, screwing this rook on f4 and delivering mate very quickly. Let's say queen takes f4, king h3, and queen g4 checkmate is one example. So king h5 is what white is going to do to avoid some threats. If we play rook takes f4 here, which is a pretty natural move, we will fall prey to queen b8 check, forking our king on our rook. And so this would only be a draw for us. For example, queen takes f4. And white will be doing better there actually. King h5, and the surprising move is not even a check. It's d4, a quiet move, just revealing the idea of a discovered check when the bishop moves. So, for example, if queen b8 check here, we're going to parry it with a check, bishop c8 check. White is forced to play king g6 or move the king to h6. And now simply we're just going to play rook e6 check, which is sufficient to win. In addition, some other ideas would be queen c1 for white, trying to exchange our queens off, since if we play queen takes c1, rook takes c1, rook takes f4, now we have to evaluate the position. We have a bishop and a pawn extra, but now is this enough to win? For example, king g5, we're going to play rook f2, and we can evaluate that it is, because this pawn is going to be protected. As long as this pawn doesn't fall, this is going to be easily won endgame. Now it is important to note that a bishop rook versus rook endgame is theoretically drawn in most cases. So if these two pawns were gone and white had this one pawn, we would not evaluate this as a win. So in conclusion, queen c1, we're just going to play this simply. There's some ideas of like bishop g6, double check, for example, king takes g6, rook e6, trying to do some shenanigans like that, but that is really unnecessary, and it actually doesn't work. So we're just going to play queen takes c1. White is forced to play rook takes c1, and rook takes f4 should win the game. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this puzzle, and see you in day 307. Have a wonderful day.